Hello, Julians. Hello, AP Literature students. Hello, GCSE beasts. Today, we're moving on to part 2 of our 1984 by George Orwell deep dive. And we have a question. Have you ever felt like you're being manipulated, but politely? We have this incredible idea of oppression. And oppression doesn't mean the same thing that it means to most people. It's not about broken windows. It's not about brute force. It's more about branding, bureaucracy, and boredom. And the mechanics of oppression in 1984 are one of the reasons why it's such an important book to read and consider and to think about, especially when we consider when George Orwell wrote this book. It matters and it means something. Now, there's only one place to start in this video. It's about the hope in, of all places, a grimy pub with Winston and the proles, the proletariat, the working class. And oh my goodness, they are delightful. In fact, if we take a look at this quote, this kind of shows us the significance of the proletariat in this book and in this story. If there is hope, it lies in the proles. He may be wrong. And it gives us this wonderful juxtaposition of these two different parts of Oceania. We have the party, orderly, controlled, and stoic, a world of rigid ideology. And then we have the proles, who are loud and chaotic, unpredictable, drunk, driven by raw, unfiltered emotion, drunk, and drunk. Now, as we move on to the second major theme in this, it's basically about revisionism. Yesterday was cancelled, the Ministry of Truth, rewriting what you believe today based upon what they tell you happened yesterday. Now, this is nothing new, and this is something which Orwell would have been all too well aware of. The idea of historical revisionism, the official systematic reshaping of past records to align with current party ideology. I mean, just take a look around. This is something which happens to varying degrees all the way around the world to this day. People rewrite history to suit the message of the party. It's not just something in fiction, it's something in reality. And I guess that's what makes this so chilling and terrifying, because we can all recognize it. Now, theme number 3 is a bit of a love story. I did promise you a love story, and it's all about Winston and Julia, our two criminal lovebirds in this story. Now, I mean, what a romantic place to start, but there's this single scribbled note from Julia to Winston, basically obliterating Winston's idea that Julia was some sort of party enthusiast, a patriot to Oceania, some sort of incredible fundamentalist. No, she isn't. She's actually completely changing our expectations in the book. And she changes it with love, of all things. And this scrap of paper becomes a tiny manifesto, and it basically rips apart the cliches of Orwellian newspeak. The message from the party is shot down by a simple "I love you" note, which is adorable, absolutely adorable. And this builds into this idea in 1984 that the rebellion we see, just like the oppression, is not the obvious form of rebellion or repression you might imagine. It comes in small acts like our diary writing, drinking some coffee, applying lipstick, and whispering, "I love you," and whispering things that you know you should not say. These are not massive, overt acts of rebellion. They're something smaller, more delicate, but also more powerful. Now, theme number 4 is the world police, controlling what you think. To illustrate this idea of how the party actually goes about controlling and manipulating the people, take a look at the message on the left and the message on the right. The party's actions are inhumane and morally wrong. Okay, fantastic. Okay, we understand, but it has complexity, inhumanity, morality. These are things which some people may not fully understand. So what is the best way to remove doubt and miscommunication? Simplify the message, reduce the message to something that cannot be misunderstood. The message on the right does that. Party action, double plus, ungood. Your message becomes clear. You remove any gray areas, you remove any possibility of misunderstanding, and it works. Simplify your message. Make America great again. And this is the key to this terrifying, chilling prospect, that basically we take ideas like peace and love and morality. And we don't, and this is the crux of this incredibly chilling and terrifying prospect, that the party doesn't seek to change things by changing the world. It changes the words that you have available to express what you think. They want to erase your vocabulary so you cannot express ideas and opinions about morality, about passion, about love, about peace, about that little tiny white bird that seems to be stuck inside that guy's brain. And we have a key question. How do you fight back against depression when you have literally lost? So young people, remember, these ideas will help you in your exams, but you must maintain a watchful vigil, because everybody's watching, everybody's listening, and people are trying to make you think what they want you to think. But fight back and be brave and hold your own ideas. Now, remember, down below, you will find a link to go and study this magnificent thing over here, which is our Jool Literature 9.24 literature book, chapter, whatever you will call it. And this will take you through the key concepts in a little bit more detail than we can in this video. It's got a great listening link to Crash Course Literature. Highly recommend it. Check it out. It's going to get you to go and find some interesting vocabulary, stuff that means something from this, to explore the vernacular and the lexis used by Orwell. Also, if you go down, it's got this wonderful cheat sheet, which I thoroughly enjoyed writing about, talking about the impoverished, inebriated, and inattentive proletariat. As you go down, you will have some comprehension questions, which you can test your chops on to make sure you know what you're talking about before you get into the exam and you realize, oh my God, I didn't study. Go through, do the work. And also, of course, there are some projects at the bottom to grit your teeth over. All very, very enjoyable. So I highly recommend them. I made them myself. And let me know in the comments how that goes and if you have any questions. But from me, I'll say goodbye for the moment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, guys.